What's going on, people? Welcome back to another JSTV. Back again tonight. It's the NUFC panel show. We're going to talk about different types of topics tonight as well from last night's game. Samson and Ali, Jason Kundi in the list as well. I've got two fantastic guys. I've got Paul and I've got Ian.
Hello.
How are we doing, lads? You okay?
Yeah, good as gold, thanks.
Yeah, and if someone quotes us anything on social media, all right, which I'm going to say something in a minute, gets in the bin. So there you go. Oliver Holt get in the bin as well. So there you go. So guys, like the video, like what you watch. Make sure you like and subscribe, please. Also, if you like to super chat is open. And if you'd like to become a member, it'll be just 99p. If you enter as a member, then you'll be entering the members to a competition very, very soon. So we'll be talking about that later on. Hi to Ches, good evening to you. Ches is first in the door. Hi to Les. Like and share to your socials. Help this channel grow. Thank you so much indeed, Leslie. Always nice of you as well. And super chat's available around just 99. Thank you very much indeed. Hi to Gary V. Share the love to Gary V as well. And got some as well. I believe someone else is coming in chat as well. Molly, I think her name is Molly, maybe coming in later on to say hello. Hi to Gary again, Les, and Gary again. And also we've got some good side to you as well, Ian, and evening to you, Phil. Hope we know ridiculous how I was carrying on the night with some so-called supporters. We're going to chat about that as well because I haven't seen it yet, but that's been discussed before and it really winds us up. I tell you what, if anyone wants anyhow out, you tell me on social media, if people watching, who would you like to take his place? I can't think of anyone. It would not be Diego Simeone. Hi to Jules. We reached 45 members. Paul has donated a prize for the Magpie store. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Leslie, as well. And Phil, you won't get that off us as Gary. And hi to Jules as well. Right, we're going to talk about last night's game. It's disappointed last night. Finished this Newcastle 0, Dortmund 1 at St James's Park. Everyone is going to say, oh, it's the easiest game, easy game. We're going to beat these. We're going to beat them as well. And we got a culture shock of our lives, yeah? We got taught a lesson last night, yeah? And I'm not going to lie, both lads went to the game yesterday. Ian, I'll start with you. Tell us your breakdown, man, on last night's game with the fans, the game itself, and the atmosphere.
So the atmosphere was really, really subdued from the start. I don't know why. I don't know whether it was the weather, whether it was just that people weren't as interested, or whether it was even an hangover from obviously the PSG game. I was sat where you kindly let us have your ticket because you couldn't make it up, and that was amazing. I was really, really disappointed. Obviously, I've sat in the area, I've sat in your seat, I've sat in that area a lot in Leeds' West Corner, and I mean, bar maybe one or two people of the hundreds around us, nobody seemed that interested. I said to the guy you sit next to, I must have made his ears bleed just saying, what's going on here? Has it been like this? Has it been like this for weeks and that? And he's like, to be fair, he was saying, it's the team's got to do something to get people up. And I'm like, so I don't agree with that. I think if it's not happening, you need to get behind the team even more. And it just wasn't happening. I didn't think, the usual sort of areas, obviously the Gallagher and the singing corner were great. One thing I do massively, massively disagree with is allowing opposition teams to bring those bloody drums in, because literally, I swear, you couldn't hear yourself think for them flipping drums. And it's like, so, we don't drum drums, and the drum is that flipping loud. I think they might have had 3 drums, and they were going constantly. So I think that had a little bit to do as well with us. As soon as, the song started, these flipping drums are banging away, and it was breaking everything up. But yeah, the atmosphere for me was down. The performance in the first half didn't help it. I thought we were pretty rubbish in the first half. Couldn't string 2 things together. The referee didn't help us at all. I thought he was poor. And second half, obviously, we picked things up and we were better. But I think we were just playing a really good team. more of a team than PSG, you know, like a proper team. So yes, they might be aging, and I thought we'd run the legs off them. And, you know, we did come back into it in the second half. But I think, you know, these are some of them, all right, they're at the elite players maybe at the back end of the career. But this, you know, you look at the team, they have got a really good team, and they play as a team. And they taught us a bit of a lesson, I think. You know, we should have, for me, come away with a point out of it. We were unlucky, we hit the bar a couple of times and all that sort of stuff, and we were close. And it just wasn't our day. I think I'm not going to get too disheartened by it. The one thing that is very worrying is the injuries now. Overnight, we've gone from all of the squad's good enough. We can handle a Botman injury. We can handle like Big Joe being out. We can handle Joe Willett being out. But now with Tonali, obviously with the ban, which we know we're going to come to after. And on top of that, all the new fresh injuries. I think it could do us a favour in the long run if we can get through to Christmas to January, get some players in. I do think we need to bolster the squad though, definitely. So yeah, I'm not going to go on too much about the game because it was a poor performance. But actually, when you look at it, we've had some bloody good performances in the last 2 months. So let's just keep a reality check on it. It's one game, it's a one-off. We'll come back stronger. And you know, we're both. I don't know whether you're Paul's at Wolves, but we're down there. I'm down with Tommy, and you're down there on Saturday. And let's get 3 points down there and get back on the saddle, as they say.
Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you for that, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you made some good points there as well, Ian. And yeah, I thought Paul, the referee, I mean, Anthony Gordon was definitely fouled before Dortmund got that goal, by the way. What I said on the tweet yesterday, I said the tackle's good, right? But before that, he got tagged back. That's what I was trying to say. He got tagged back. That should have been a free kick to us. Referee didn't bother blowing up. 10 seconds later, Dortmund went on and scored. Referee, first of all, he was poor. What's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, the game overall. I mean, the day itself was a bit of a day for me. Got to the hotel yesterday, and then just out of nowhere, lost my phone. I thought for ages it had been stolen or something. Like everything on it, like had my booking stuff, had my card on, like you can save your old card on there. So I was a bit, that kind of took over a lot of the day yesterday. Thankfully, in the morning it was found, so it was all resolved. But that was playing on my mind, and went to the game like dead on the kickoff. And yeah, I agree with Ian that the atmosphere was really strange. Like the PSG game was like phenomenal, like different level of like I've never been to an atmosphere like really. And I don't know. It felt a bit just like Crystal Palace. It felt the same where the usual parts were quite loud and quite good, but yeah, like the thing with the drums, I was going to say, they're saying that's literally when I was driving home today. That's all I could hear was the bang, as if I was still back at the game. But it's funny, like it wasn't our best performance, but it's interesting because we'll probably come into it a bit more. But if we had our shooting boots on, we probably would have won the game with a poor performance. Because we hit the bar so often, and Borussia Dortmund put a brilliant thing up where they thanked thanked the bar. I don't know if you saw that video. The guy, their social media person, put a thumb up for our crossbar to say thank you. So it's one of those weird things where if Wilson's chance goes in and the sitter goes in, we might end up nicking that game 2-1. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things where if the rubber green goes the other way, we get away with not the best performance of our lives, but we get away with a win. But it's a tough one. Dortmund came with big intentions. They had to win that game because they were so poor in the group before then. So they definitely came with more of an impetus than we did, which is a shame. I don't know whether we're a bit. I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? I don't know whether there's a bit of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a bit of like, they got carried away with PSG maybe, and maybe got a bit kind of ahead of themselves and just thought, well, we stuffed PSG, so we'll just kind of walk over Dortmund. I don't know. I'm hoping that's not true, but Can't really put a finger on what happened because we, as Ian said, we've been in really top form. So it's just a shame. But you have these games, and we've been on such a good run. You've got to, you do lose some games. We're not used to it, especially at St James's Park. Our record there is so good. But also on the ref. I mean, we've been on this conversation so often how poor some refereeing performances are, and it's not just sour grapes. But he was particularly bad. Like he really that's all I saw on social media when I came home. Was everyone commenting on how bad the ref was. I mean, it was a foul. Then the penalty incident where it didn't get checked, but again, maybe we're seeing it through Newcastle eyes, but I've seen penalties given for that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's one of those, and then just small things that the ref was letting go or blowing up for, and it was just a really frustrating performance from the referee as well. So all in all, not the best day in our lives, but it's one of those where if we beat, I think when we looked at it, I think if we beat Milan at St James's Park and we get some sort of results away, we're still going to be fine.
The thing is, Paul, if you lose the next two games, if you lose the next two games, and then Milan win the next two games as well, we've got bottom. Then we may not even qualify for any competition, mate. Do you know what I mean? So if you look at the table, if we lose our next game, if PSG don't win the next two, they'll both be through the next stage. Milan win one of their games. We have to beat Milan to get into Europa League. So I think just go to the last game, because I think Milan will probably find a way against PSG, despite they got beat 3-0. Dortmund now are starting to party as well, but they were really good yesterday. I thought they were organised. I thought they had a game plan. They executed that as well perfectly. I think, in my opinion, we got found out as well, thinking they're going to walk over this team. What people have to realise, Borussia Dortmund have played in European football for years and years and years, right? They're an established elite team, European side that plays Champions League on a regular basis, They're top of the Bundesliga for a reason, They're unbeaten for a reason, Simple as that. And we've got to take them seriously. We've got to respect them. Do you know what I mean? Because going in Germany ain't going to be easy in a couple of weeks' time. We need to get Isak back. We need to get him fit. I don't think I'll make it, but we've got to change something up. We got to take our chances for a start. If you do that, then who knows? But I think Dortmund players exactly the way they're saying they've been playing. They're going to be asking the questions. And it's going to be difficult in Germany. It's going to be so difficult. Oh, and by the way, they do play the drums as well. So get used to it. So you got some more confidence.
I think that affected us as well, didn't it? That the injury twice.
You got to get used to it, mate. You got to get used to it. Go on.
Yeah, I just felt that we just
drums in of our own. Then, do you know what I mean? Not that we want to have drums, but in these games, if these other teams are being allowed to bring drums in, I guarantee if we started walking in with, a couple of drums and that, they wouldn't let us in with them. That's it. It seems like to me, the whole thing from the walking from the big market and that side of things, just a little bit weird for me. It's like, and I've seen some really a few ugly scenes on a couple of other YouTube channels where there's bits of fighting. I thought the police were being really heavy-handed with some of our people. There was a massive police presence, and it all seemed to be aimed at the Newcastle fans in Newcastle on Newcastle streets and protect. Obviously they've got a duty of care to protect the away fans, but the away fans were just getting away with doing whatever they wanted to, and there was bottles going one way and the other way. I know that, I'm not being stupid, but it was as if the policing was all against the Newcastle fans on the street and the Newcastle people. And I thought that with PSG as well. I really did. And, the other podcasters who were trying to film and that getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And it's like, wait a minute, the whole thing to me just was a little bit weird yesterday. It was as if, I'd had a few beers, I'll be honest with you. So I felt it today, but the whole thing just seemed, it just didn't feel right, So maybe it was the whole, maybe that was it. Maybe that rubbed off on the players. The players weren't at the best. I do think on our day we beat on a good day with players all firing. I do think we beat them. To be honest, I really do. But I do also think they're a bloody good team.
They are.
So,
There's
no
team.
in a close game like that, losing 1-0 to Dortmund, it's not an embarrassment. But I think maybe the fans, took it a little bit lightly and just thought we were going to roll over them because we've been doing so well. And maybe that's why it was quite, when that didn't happen straight away, and then, obviously they scored, that, maybe that had a real detrimental effect. But yeah, it is what it is, onwards and upwards, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Go to some comments as well. Keep them coming in, guys, and be brilliant. Always thought last night will be harder than people thought. Dortmund kind of the German version of us, no diva-esque superstars, but a very well organised team. Totally agree with you there, mate. They have been. Hi to Alan as well. I hope you're good. Ridiculous last night, Les. Some of the comments were just mental. I don't know. I didn't see it, and I don't particularly want to see it, to be fair. Now, but I closed my eyes as soon as the game finished to get over it. Gary, I don't blame you there. Drummond was irritated on TV too. Can still hear it. That's from Leslie. Thank you so, Leslie.
I could hear it at 3 o'clock in the morning when I was asleep. I could still hear them bloody drums. Ridiculous.
It's going to get worse in Germany and Paris, by the way. It's all value experience.
That's fine if that's what they do at their place, but I don't think we should be letting them come to our place and drowning out the sound of every single person in that stadium with 3 flipping drums that never stop. I'd bloody get a big knife and tear the things apart and say, right, go on, crack on with that. You know what I mean?
Oh, love it, man. I love it. TNT, big up to you, Leslie. Hope you're good. It's all value experience. Any other night would have been a win for us. Could well be. And it's a nice channel too. We don't know what channel it is. That's not going to be mentioned. There's a place for Germans on the Royal Albert Hall.
It has a big
that sounds a fair bit. What a game. 3 more games to go at least. We have Europa next season or go Colton. We got to get there first, my guy. We got to get there first. And do you know what it is, right? I mean, going to Germany ain't going to be easy. And going to Paris, I don't think PSG will play that badly ever again. And it was in nowhere the channel's fault. And it's exactly Phil. I think the injuries in the game last night affected me more than the result.
Yeah.
Look, Gary, okay, one step at a time. Need to concentrate on the Prem. Teams are getting scared of us. That's Leslie. Dortmund wasn't scared of us last night. They execute a plan as well. With injuries coming fast, do you think it's time to recall Kuma mentally? No, Alan, he should stay at Feyenoord to the end of the season. He needs to stay there, in my opinion. Murphy disclared a bottom 1 month minimum. Anderson back, injury not known. Isak going 5 games. Mali, Gladula, Fever, at least 4 weeks. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you for the injury news, Les. I appreciate that. It does look dire. I agree with you, Jed. Mint had some muscle injury, came off into the 1 minute against Vitesse and Arnhem. And started push Les. He's a compulsive feature at Dortmund. If he's fit, he's fit. If he's not, he's not. And he will talk to us tomorrow. And alongside the injury as well. Just an unlucky game. We back to Dortmund away. PSG and spank Ace Man at home. Colton, I love your confidence, mate. I love your confidence. If you beat all those, Colton, come and find me, mate. Please come and find us. I tell you what, that's a tall order, mate. I love your confidence, sir. And trumpets.
Oh, no. Couldn't be doing without that.
Go Wizards, get over it. That's in Gaz. And got some more as well. Keep them coming in, guys. Stay return. Can you put a link to be a member, please? Yes. You've got to be a member. It should be there somewhere as well. What I should have done, what I'm going to do in a minute is try and get the link there and put it on there as well if I can. And thank you for that, Colton. Concentrate on the footy. I'll get John to do it, Colton. Just click the button. It takes you there. Thank you, Les. And agree, we could have won. Loads of positives to take away. The first half, Leslie, I thought first half, Dortmund absolutely taught us a lesson in football as well. Let's go towards the goal. I'll start with Vivian. Was that a foul on Anthony Gordon before the goal where he got the shirt pulled? For me, yes, it
100%.
was.
Stonewall foul. For me, definitely a foul. But that was synonymous with the way that that he refereed the match. He just didn't give us the lickings of a dog, did he? Really? So yeah,
Nope.
no, it was a foul for me. Like,
absolutely. I mean, just a quick one before you go on to Paul as well, just from Chris as well. He said as well, and I wanted to see what you take on it. Newcastle fans need a good look at themselves after tonight. Nearly relegated 2 years ago, and people are still being negative as well. I mean, do you think we should talk about the game itself? We need to pick the bones from it. You can't dismiss Paul the mistakes they've done.
No, it's a funny one, isn't it? Where, I mean, obviously, because I was there, so I haven't seen, Twitter's a funny place. So if there has been negativity, it's probably the usual people we're used to. It's the people who don't understand the club, who are normally the ones who are getting angry and getting the toys out the pram and asking for how to be sat, because they don't, it's these people who think we just have instant gratification, instant trophies, where Man City, Mark II, we're not. We're a very good team. We're still building, and I'd rather do it the slow way than be the club that just wins, by overpaying, having divas in the dressing room, having managers who don't care about the club, having fans who don't care about the club. No one wants that in Newcastle. So it's a strange mentality that these people have. And I feel like the same thing. It's funny, isn't it? Like, we'll talk about it later maybe, but the pundits as well, I found their response quite interesting to our loss. A lot of them have taken quite a lot of pleasure in us losing that game, and kind of like gone to their usual. Yeah, they've gone to their usual sort of like, Newcastle have had they've had a reality check, or they've silenced the Newcastle fans. I saw from the shameless Rory Jennings and those idiots. It's just this weird thing of like people wanting us to lose, wanting us to like not get anywhere, and it's very strange behaviour. Like Hundy last night was droning on about how we're not a big club and joking on, doing that really tired. Like it's not. It was never funny. His little, has anyone seen stuff? It's never been funny, and it's just like, mate, worry about Chelsea, worry about your own club before you start slagging off Newcastle or Man United, whoever. Like he loves like any other club like not doing well. He can't get enough of it. But if you bring up Chelsea, he doesn't say anything. He gets, he just gets upset and gets annoyed and goes on the defensive. So it's interesting. It's interesting seeing the response to that loss, because do you know what? Like Man United won, but the other day. But I tell you what, they were terrible. And Maguire, they got lucky with the Maguire goal. They got lucky with the penalty save against a very poor Copenhagen side. But no one's talking about them. No. It's very strange. A strange reaction to it. And I just think that the real fans, the people that watch us and us three, we've been to much worse games than that. We've been to games where players don't care, the manager don't care, the fans don't, we've been to worse games than that. Like I said, I think the worst game I've ever been to in my entire life of a Newcastle fan is probably Cardiff, where I think he missed a penalty in like the last couple of minutes. I think that's probably the worst performance I've ever seen us. That or the Wolves one. Do you remember the Wolves game where we were awful? Yeah. Funny enough, that's who we've got coming up. But I remember being at Molineux and being really depressed because we were so
I'll be
bad.
going on Saturday, man. I'm going on Saturday as well. So, I mean, I'm going to have to brave it. Do you know what I mean? Probably half the team's going to play as well. So, we'll see what happens.
They'll start us free on Saturday.
Yeah. I'll play up front. I'll hold the ball up, man.
I used to play right back, but I don't think I've got anything on trips, like, so.
Not yet. Listen, we centre back with pace and Jan. It showed last night. Dortmund had the pace up top on the counter attack. Alan, you're so right. The first half reminded me of the first half against West Ham. It'd be interesting to know whether John Paul and Ian think Miggy should have had the pen. He's 100%. Again, the referee bottled it as well. BLR should have bottled it as well. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. Add a loudspeaker to the damn drums. Yeah. Again, it's a European thing. They had the megaphone up there as well.
They did.
Someone's in the chat for the very first time is Molly. complacent is the word after PSG win. Molly, I've got to kind of agree there because, look, I said earlier that everyone expected us to beat Dortmund with ease, with absolute ease. And you know what it is like, Ian? You can't diss them out. You cannot diss them out.
No, I, to be honest, I didn't think I thought it'd be an hard game. But a lot of people were. I didn't think it helped us at all that we were like, when you looked at the bookies and that, we were like odds on, virtually odds on favourites. And it's like, wait a minute, have a good think about this. This is a bloody, good team, like you say, with, European pedigree. They're a good team, and maybe I don't think the players took their eye off the ball. I think us fans maybe were expecting us to play at the same level we have been playing, but you could see there was injuries, and injuries do change games. They definitely do, So yeah, like I say, onwards and upwards. Let's. I think it's one that you've just got to put behind.
Yeah, absolutely, totally agree. There, we just got to move on as well. Controversial, but I kind of like the drums. Unless you have something to say about that, Phil, or thing when it comes to it. And I know Phil not at all. And thumbs up the Colton. I get the coat and trombone as well. You do that, Phil. We are competing with the best in the world now. We are indeed. We are indeed. And gotta watch out for the trolls. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something about the trolls, right? I just had a tweet, right, on social media calling me something, right, which I didn't quite take kindly with, right? So I replied back to him, right, called him on the bell end, right, get a life. Then he came back at us. And you know what? I just said, you know what? I'm just going to block him. I blocked him. So if you call us that name, I'm not going to mention it on here, you're getting an instant block. And I'm not going to play silly buggers with people.
Or threatening, like pretty much threatening, physical, violence if he saw you, which is, again, just so, so inappropriate. Like, if you have a problem, just talk about it like adults, mate. If you got a problem with John, like,
pathetic.
How can you have a problem with John? He's like the nicest guy ever as well. Weird stuff.
Weird stuff. He doesn't even know us, you know what I mean? Never met him in public. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know what I'm like. So unless you do met us properly, so I suggest him keep his mouth shut. Then again, he's blocked anyway. So never mind. Go watch for Charles. Indeed. Let's see you 100%. Right. There's the link. If you want to become a member of my channel, click on that. We'll highlight it, post it, and then click on the join button. So it's just 99p. There's the Colton. Cold ask for you, mate. How do people feel about the summer window? Hindsight is granted, but would have been better going for first team ready players considering the lack of squad depth and wait for the whole team of tight deals? Phil, I exactly see what you're coming from. We needed a number 6. We definitely needed a striker. And you know what? It needs to happen really, really soon because we are going to be short and soon.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry.
No, just that comment that I put into Phil.
Yes, there you go. Big recorders and tambourines. I love it.
We're going watching the football, not having a music lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, such a thing, guys. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I think Dan's having a big sell on transfers. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. For me,
it's definitely good. It's definitely good.
I think Eddie should have an input as well, by the way, who he was.
This is what we've had all these big things that have been announced. We've had all these sponsors come in, plain sponsors and sleeve sponsors, all this is going to be used for players. So, we've got to work around this bloody financial fair play thing, because otherwise we'll be where Everton are and they're going to get 12 points docked off them at some point.
Yeah.
And probably going to get themselves relegated. So, we do not want to trip up and do that because we don't want 12 points taken off us, So it is frustrating, I know, but we've got to, do all these little things, get the sponsorship, get the Adidas money in, all these things will add to our pot of money. So there's a bit of patience as well. We've been through worse times than this. So if we have to wait another year just to get a bit more pot of money for better players, we'll be all right.
I don't think we will. I honestly don't think there's anything to fear with FFP. We've stuck to it. I think on the face of things, we haven't pushed the boundaries, have we?
Mm-hmm.
And the Adidas money. Obviously, I don't know how much it is. I don't know whether it's actually been announced. I don't think it has it? Like, but it will be substantial. That will be, and that alone. Never mind the other sponsorships that are all falling into place, coming in, will give us certainly quite a lot of wiggle room, if you want to put it that way. I think in the summer we go big. I think we will sign.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
we will sign a more than 2 or 3 players. I think it'll be more like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 players, and that'll be the squad. That'll be it done. So I think we have to be careful of it, but I think we've employed people who are too clever to make mistakes on that front.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you say spend big, then we will spend big. And I tell you what, they were not like it at all whatsoever, the Premier League. But
when I say spend big, I don't mean spend big like going out buying ready-made superstars. I know what you mean. Galacticos. I mean, we'll stick with our plan of signing younger players up to the like Tonali's, who are already, if you want to call them a superstar, but they're not at that 150 million bracket. We won't do that. We want to make those players not have to pay for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what happens in January or in the summer as well. Like Eddie said after the game, we just have to do it the hard way now, and the hard way, that's what you're going to have to do. And we could capable of doing it.
But the Newcastle, if we did anything less.
Exactly. Totally agree. We've done it before. And we succeeded. You got the Geordie, how we the lads see you. Keyboard warriors are idiots. If he met you properly, John, he'd be looking at the floor. Do you know what it is, Colton? You know what? I'm not scared. I'm not a fighting person, but you have to watch out for yourself as well. Thank you, Colton. New legislations in UK today concerning online abuse also crack down on platforms to abide by the terms and conditions. Could be an issue for some channels. You know what is this, right? I'm not going to mention any names on here. That is not my style. But at the end of the day, you've got to be careful. You just got to be careful. Need an actual goal scorer, a moocher, indeed. And it's Antonio Siberski still around. Needs some call up front or give Ash. Siberski, and not being funny, then he came. Anton, who, to be fair, he did well. I'll give him 7 out of 10. And agree with Ian, we make our own superstars. Indeed, we do. Let's go on to the game as well. You look at the chances we had, Paul. We had so many chances. I mean, Wilson should have scored, Gordon should have scored, and they hit the crossbar twice. And when Miggy had that shot at the end, blazed it over the bar, own foul would have been fouled at that as well. Let's be real. I mean, and you know what? It is what it is, and we just got to move on to the next game now. I mean, we gave it all second half. First half, we got outclassed, and you know what? The midfield wasn't great. Trippier disappointed, but what can you do?
Yeah, apology. If you hear screaming, I really apologise. It's been very where I live has been really high activity for crime. I really apologise.
Yes, Andy, don't worry.
It's not be quiet where I live. Yesterday, all kids when they got home as well. Sorry, it's just see it screaming. Screaming. It makes you wonder what you're doing. Yeah, but I mean, Wilson will be kicking himself. We know how he has such high standards of himself, doesn't he? He'll be frustrated with himself for that. Gordon again, it was such a good chance, and then Miggy, as you said, like I think England rugby team are going to call him up for next year because be proud of that way of kicking. Like I said, it's one of those weird things where if those chances go in, we nick the game, even though we haven't played well. We nick, so one of those weird things where you're like, well, we didn't play well, but we got a result. So it would have been one of those, wouldn't it, where if we nicked a draw or nicked 2-1 or whatever, then we would have been a bit like when we got away with that one. This time we didn't. It's just one of those things where Dortmund would go to any side and give them a game. They've given people who are relatively meant to be better squads than us better games. So it's a hard one to take. But what we know about the club and what we love about the club is that if we do lose, we normally see a really good reaction to it. look at Brighton, when we lost to Brighton, like it wasn't like, oh, we're going to feel sorry for ourselves. It was like, right, what can we do to, to improve on that performance? So, I'm quite looking forward to Wolves because, we know Eddie, we know what he'll want. And that'll be the big thing. Like I say, there's a few things, wasn't there? I just think led to everything. I think Isaac getting injured, I know it's not an excuse, but that kind of just hiccuped the game. And then Murphy getting injured so quickly and coming on. These silly little things that they do, they get in the way of the run of the game. And then the ref wasn't helping either, as we said a few times. Like, the game just wasn't able to breathe at times because of some of the things, which made it, equally frustrating. So it's one of those where, as someone's already said as a comment, that on another day we nick a goal or we nick two, and we either get a draw or we get a lucky win out of it. This time they got a good goal and kept us out. It doesn't happen often to Newcastle, so we'll just have to go there and do the same to them: nick a goal and then run away with the goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, we got to score first. By the way, in Dortmund, we've got to score first, and then if that means shut the shop and defend for our lives, that's what we're going to have to do. So don't go down goal. Just take the 3 points. One goal to no lead. That'd be great. We're Newcastle fans. We're used to Newcastle roller coaster. Whoosh. Yeah. Love it. Thank you for that, Courtney. If you hear a scream, I apologise. You got a dungeon ball. That's what it is. You gotta love chairs, Simon. You gotta love chairs. 3-1 to Liverpool. Hard to believe I know, but someone once called me annoying me. Can you imagine? I wasn't even playing my trombone that loud. The drums again.
I hooked on my phone and actually just laughed at that before. I don't know whether you've seen us go.
I love it, man. What's it like? Oh, Miss Gary's comment. So I'm watching Brighton, Les. I'm struggle watching Klopp. You know what? Who cares about Klopp? I don't care. We join second. We will make it. Depends what we do in Germany. Brighton with join Neil's each at a minute. So there you go. So yeah, I mean, look, end of the day. I mean, I've got to say, can Newcastle come back from this day? Do you think we can go to Dortmund and get something out of the game?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I don't, like I said before, I respect Dortmund, and I think they've got a good team, a really good team. But on our day, I actually think we beat them. I do. If we are playing at 100% and they're playing at 100%, our 100% beats them. It just happened that we, 50% in the first half, and then we didn't pick it up in the second half. I thought we were much better, but too little, too late, and we're a little bit unlucky as well. And we didn't have the rub of the green, and the ref was rubbish. So, all those things added together, I think we deserved a draw. We didn't get it, But 1 point, okay. Losing 3 points, as in Dortmund getting the 3 points, could affect us in the long run. But I still think we've got enough to get through the group. I do, and that's the good thing. This group's so hard that on the day, any of these teams can beat each other home or away. That's already shown, So with the results that we've seen, and so it's not just going to be like not everyone can win. Do you get what I mean? Like, and it'll be. PSG will get beaten by whoever, and you know what I mean? Like, because they're hot and cold, they blow hot and cold all the time. So yeah, I reckon we'll be all right. Actually, I'm still confident. I just want to get a bit more information on the injuries. That's the thing. That's the thing that's worrying me the most.
Yeah. That is the thing. I think the Milan game is going to tell us where we're going to go. We've got to get at least a point in Dortmund. PSG, that's always like a free hit, unfortunately. I don't do free hits, but it's looking that way. And Newcastle got to play Milan, and that's the game we're going to need to win. So, yeah. And Paul, with you, I mean, if you look at it, right, I mean, we talked about players being disappointing. Trippier's been disappointing last night for me. He ain't the only one. I mean, I thought Buda did okay. Joe Linton, I would have hooked him up for half time, to be fair. Sean Longstaff wasn't well.
Yeah, that's, like when you look around, it was all when you actually look at it. I said in the pub before I went down there, I said to this, I was just chatting with this guy, and I said, I'm a little bit worried. Big Joe didn't look fit. He wasn't at the races in the previous game. Longstaff had told Matty off another channel, and he'd mentioned something about him saying that he was full of cold, and that was after his press conference thing. So that was what, the day before, like 24 hours before. So when you look at that, then that only leaves Bruno as the only fit midfielder, in there. And it was probably really bad timing for us, and sort of, that's the one good thing in a way. Think of it this way: we lost the game. We only lost it by 1 goal. Our goal difference couldn't eventually make a big difference to what happens in the group. That's one plus point. The other plus point is everybody was pretty much shocking on the same day. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's it. That's probably it out of the way now, and then we'll go on another good run. We've got some hard games coming up now, but I think they're all winnable if we can put our A game out.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Do follow Paul on Blank Canvas PC, and Ian Sutcliffe is on Facebook as well. So get a lot of follow these guys. They're fantastic guys as well. Let's go for the adverts as well. The first one is JSTV is pleased to welcome the first partner, Tought, the #1 destinations for classic football shirts that recreates famous vintage Newcastle shirts designs. In addition to the massive range of retro replica shirts, Tought brings you NUFC inspired bucket hats featuring Bruno Ucl and Tonali and more. Their products are manufactured at a Team Valley base, made by the fans for the fans. Check them out at tought.com. Our exclusive JS discount code gets you 15%. All order simply quote JSTV 15. And the second one is the Magpie store. Really popular guys as well. These guys are passionate about supporting Newcastle and provided fans with quality NUFC inspired clothing. Their range includes hoodies and t-shirts featuring Gordon, Tonali, and Isak. Tonali's going to be banned anyway, but we're just going to mention him anyway. Keep your eyes open as they continue added to the product line. The Magpie Stores is a new store for a new dawn at Newcastle United. They can be found at themagpiestore.co.uk. Quote our exclusive code JSTV10 for 10% off each order. Please contact JSTV via email if you also like to join our partnership team as well. Check out the Magpie Store on social media as well. And if you like to contact, like I said, please contact me via email if you also like to join our partnership team as well. Thank you very much indeed. And let's go to some more comments as well. Time, you have a good evening, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Tina could play right wing. That's in Gary. And let's agree with you. We have lost 1-0. It was a close game, if nothing else. We always learn from our performances. Yeah, indeed, correct. That's what I was thinking. Play Livramento in front of trips. First time here, lads. Fully enjoyed. Molly, thank you so much indeed, Molly. And she's a big Newcastle fan as well, by the way. Spoken to on Twitter this morning. She is so switched on as well. Be interesting next few games up front, especially. No way Wills can manage every game. Obviously, and already chose move Gordon there, but the Barnes injury leaves us short on the left if we do that. If Joe is fully fit, then Joe will play on the left-hand side. Wilson next, and they can interchange as well. Good to hear Molly. And 1-0 Pedro as well. Brighton's just scored against Ajax. Ajax having a shocking time in the VZ as well. And they start harshing at the Molly and thumbs up to Molly as well. Right, before we go on to the next topic as well, in fact, we're going to talk about the next topic now. We're going to talk about Sandro Tonali. Breaking news come out of Italy today that it's been official now. Is now got a 10-month ban for illegal betting as well. So I started you this time, Paul. It's fully expected, to be fair, what he's done. I know, again, people on social media come up to us and say, look, do you think you should get rid of him? Send him back to Milan, stop his wages, etc. And hi to you, Steve. And you know what it is, right? I mean, no surprise. I mean, you can train with the club as well, which is good news, while he gets the ban. So it will come back bigger and better next season.
Yeah, and it's again like it's been an interesting reaction to the news. It's not anything we were all, you know, it was so widely reported with the length and how long it's going to be. We also heard about him potentially being able to train, which has been confirmed. Then the weird, like again, it's these weird people kicking off and they're like, well, why Tony can't train? Why is that allowed? It's pure, you know, oh, it's because of, you know, that he's black and Tonali's white and all this stuff. It's like, no, you got it wrong. No. Tony betted on his own team to lose. So there was harsher sanctions on Tony because he betted on his own team to lose. Tonali did not do that.
It's the Italian Federation as opposed to the Premier League, isn't it? It's a different. They have their own rules, you know. So
and it was different. And it's different what Tonali did to Ivan Toney as well, in some ways as well. But I'll tell you what. One person I don't normally give plaudits to because he's normally a bit of a prat, but most recently, Paul Merson's actually been one of the most sensible people in the whole platform, which is, you know, that's saying something when Paul Merson's the voice of reason. But to be fair to him, he's been really good with it. Like I loved his little monologue on Sky Sports about the addiction because he's someone who's gone through it, you know, and he was very upfront about it. And then when the ban came through, I really liked his statement on Twitter where he was like, "This is not the answer." He's like, you know, they've decided it, so fine. But he was like, you know, in his opinion, it's not the answer for it. It's not, you know, that's not the way to deal with it, in his opinion. So, you know, it's been interesting seeing it. It's affected him personally in his career. You know, I remember him doing like a podcast and him saying that he lost his house and, you know, big things to gambling. So I think for once he's actually been quite good about it. But yeah, there's been some odd behaviour as usual. There's always this thing whenever any decision in football happens, there's always good and bad reactions. As you said, John, some people like get him out of the club, give him back to Milan, blah blah blah. No, that's not going to help him if he's recovering from something. You know, it's good to see he's going to have a lot of help with rehab. That's going to be helpful for him. You know, and you know, make sure we support him. He'll know, you know, how much he appreciated, like, you know, the fans and stuff, and like Trippier and stuff. I thought it was just excellent with the Crystal Palace game. I thought it was brilliant, like what we were doing for Tonali. So he'll come back, you know, chomping at the bit to come back to us. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because he can play friendlies as well. So if we have like friendlies and stuff, he can still keep his toe in, getting like a bit of fitness, you know, with match sharpness. So, you know, at least it's going to keep him, you know, he's going to at least be able to keep busy and stuff, you know. And I don't agree with the one for Tony. You know, I thought Tony's was a bit over, you know, again, harsh, not allowing him to even train. Because again, it's like, what these people, you know, these people have an illness, what are they meant to do? You know, if Tony's just sitting around getting more and more depressed and not being allowed to play the game he loves, what's that going to encourage potentially? It's going to encourage more of the behavior. These people that make these decisions they clearly don't understand what addiction is. They don't get it. They're not seeing it from the human perspective sometimes. And, you know, football is sometimes a game where it lacks that knowledge of what there is behind it. So I think they need to take a look at themselves with that, because these responses haven't been what I've done with staff. Like me personally, I know it's not football that I do, but, you know, my staff in the past have been nurses and people responsible for people's, you know, life and death situations. And the way I've dealt with addiction has been very different, and it's helped them. So, you know, it's one of these things, but Tonali will, you know, he'll come back stronger on a purely footballing sense, and we'll support him all the way through it because we're fans who care. So we're not just going to shove him to a side and leave him, you know, without anything, because what's that achieving? Nothing.
Exactly. Well put. Well, that's facts. Absolute facts. The fact he can train for the squad will benefit him and the club. I totally agree, Leslie. And 10-month ban can still train, has to go back to Italy every 2 weeks for 8 months to work with disadvantaged footballers, kids as well. That's a great move. That's a brilliant move. Tought is allowed to train for the last 4 months of his ban. He betted against his team. That ain't a smart move. 10-month ban is better than 3 years. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They were looking for 3. Just chatting to Gary. With Tonali's ban being done, with AC Milan gives a reduction in his price tag. That'd be nice, Dan. That'd be really nice.
It's been reported. I don't know whether this is true or not, obviously, but I have heard that a few things. It's been reported that it's not the end of it with regards to our legal team and AC Milan, and that the club are looking, or the club's legal team are looking into this further to see if we've got a case or if there's a case against AC Milan for anything. And if anyone can find it, we can, because we'll have the best lawyers around, and so there's that point of view. But to be honest, I'm not interested in that. The other thing that I found interesting, I don't know whether you lads have heard this, and again, I don't know whether this has been confirmed, but it has been reported that Tonali there was no question of him not getting his wages paid, and I think it's 11 million quid over the 10 months or something that he's potentially going to lose in wages. There's been reports that Tonali has turned around to the club and said that he doesn't want to be paid through his ban, so he will lose that money, and that was his choice. Now that's unconfirmed. I can't remember where I heard that or saw that. It could have been TalkSport, it could have been somewhere, but it's definitely been mentioned. If that's true, then that helps us an awful lot with regards to FFP, and also I think that if it is true and he's done that, I think that shows the mark of the man. He might have made a mistake, but he's willing to pay for his mistake. So yeah, I think all round, obviously it's not a good thing, but you've got to again just look at it. We'll get him back. He'll come back fit as a fiddle. He will. He's not going to mess. I think that going back and look and coaching kids in Italy is a great thing. That'll keep his mind occupied. Being able to train with us. I know he can play friendlies behind closed doors, so we won't be able to see him. But there will be. I'm imagining quite a few friendlies where he'll be playing. Even if it's at a lower level or, with the under-19s or whatever, that will be happening. And I think from the sounds of it, he knows that he owes us now, that he owes us something back for this, which isn't a bad thing, because he should now be 100% Mr. Newcastle and loyal to us, from what's happened in the way that we're looking after him. But yeah, I hope that thing about his wages is true. That would be a really, really good thing for him to do. I know, people will say, well, he can afford it anyway, and it's just a gesture. But 11 million quid is a big gesture.
It is. Yeah.
I tell you, that is true to form. I tell you what, big up to Sandro Tonali, giving it up.
11 million quid over 5 years amortization is another Sandro Tonali.
Yeah.
Simple as
Absolutely.
It's one of these, isn't it? It's damned if you do and damned if you don't. If he takes the wages, then he's a monster, and how could he? And then if he doesn't take the wages, it's he's only doing it to make himself look better. You can't win either way, can you? In this day,
exactly. You cannot win.
You can't do anything.
Let's be honest. There's a lot worse things in the world than what he's done.
Exactly.
I was on here a few weeks ago, whenever it was, last week or whatever, when it came out. That he was under investigation, and I did not imagine that he'd done it. Like I said that to you, because he seems such a level-headed lad. But that's the thing; you never know what's going on in people's lives, and like you say, it's good. It's good. We need to keep him busy. Plus, he's got 10 months now where he can be cracking on learning English properly, and there could be a lot of benefits to this if we just think of this rather than as a ban, as an injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then he's not injured as well, so he can work. He can still be working on his game. It's just a shame we won't have him on the pitch, because he is a quality player.
Yeah,
very, very true.
But without saying names, there's been players who are still currently playing or have played the football game who have been accused of certain things on this planet that we won't mention, and they're either still playing as we speak, and people will know straight away the players I'm referencing there, or they've been found guilty of certain things. Certain Sunderland players will put as a hint of some more barbaric things that are much worse than betting. So, betting's not great, but there's been some instances where some much worse things have either happened or been currently investigated.
Yeah, agree.
Facts, absolute facts. From the FFP perspective, I think we should be allowed to spend 55 million in January without impacting FFP. Yes, that's a fair shout. That's a fair shout. So we should. I thought when he came on last night, he was excellent. Almost like he had a big weight lifted off the shoulder, Assassin Gary. Class by tonight, if it's true. I heard that too. Ian, also Eddie has said he is committed to Newcastle moving forward, which I think is amazing. It's amazing as well. And for exactly the same age, can tell there's a massive weight off his mind now. Gutted for the band, but deserved, unfortunately. He can't bet against yours and against the team as well. He also has some time learning English. Yep. Hi to Eileen. Eileen, how are you doing? Long time no see. I hope you're having a fantastic day, ready for the weekend too. And Denali can also help the squad in training and raising their own game. Paul, what do you think of that, mate?
Brilliant, good shout, isn't it? Again, like all these things can just keep him, ticking over. Keep him active and keep, again, like that's what we're saying. Like these idiots who are like, oh, just get rid of him. Just he shouldn't do anything. It's again like we said it a few times. These people don't understand like how forceful these addictions can be. The fact is he's being kept busy with good causes. He's going to see impact of like some of these things in real life. He can help people as well, keep fit and keep happy. He'll come out healthier mentally as well, not just physically. He'll be a mentally healthier person as well after the ban. So all these things are positive.
I hope that the club assign somebody to him so that when he can go with him, somebody who can look after him in like his mental health and help him with his English, and just get somebody who can be also like someone from the coaching staff. Even I wouldn't be surprised if we do assign someone like, your job is keep him right and keep him training and get him through this bit of a poor time, because the worst thing everyone knows, like addiction spiraled, whatever it was, whether it was drugs, alcoholism, betting, it spiraled during COVID because of the solitude people were in, and because people boredom is the worst thing. If you've got an issue, a problem, mental health issues a lot of the time do go alongside addiction. People self-medicate, whether that's by betting to get a high, or whether it's other things. So the last thing we need is to be like leaving this kid, just say, all right, see you in 10 months, which I know wouldn't happen, you know what I mean? But I think let's just look at the positives now, like we have to do after yesterday's game. We, like you've said a lot tonight, Paul, look at where we are now, you know what I mean? And we're disappointed because we lost 1-0 in the Champions League.
It's mental, isn't it mental? Isn't it mental?
I'd have took that a couple of years ago, like
when we were losing 4-0 to Scunthorpe. We've come quite a way. We've come quite a way. With having Cisco up front.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just...
we've come a long way. We've come a long way.
I thought we lost 2-1 against Scunthorpe.
It was the pre-season. Do you remember
no, I think it was 4-0. I think it's 6-1 against Leighton Orient, by the way.
Yeah. But I remember us getting beat. Was it someone? We got beat by someone really random 4-0 in pre-season when we were relegated. And I remember it was like, oh my God, we're in trouble here.
Yes, absolutely. I think it was
might have the wrong club, but
yeah, it's definitely Leighton Orient. The pre-season friendly lost 6-1. And I remember Ian Abrams ripped into Newcastle as well. But I'm not surprised. Some people simply don't want to understand. That is from Leslie. Willock said Eddie has been a constant contact through his injury. I believe he'll do the same with Sandro. That is fantastic news. I was absolutely soaked last night in the Melbourne stand. Wow. Steve, I know you had a good time. At least you were there, Steve. Absolutely. Fingers hot out. Great news if he's still allowed to train and we will be around the squad. Also expecting that, to be honest, should make a massive difference for him mental health wise. Indeed. That's good perspective, Ian. That's Gary. And we missed Tonali on his ban, but I'm just pleased we have cover for him. Hopefully, please, no more injuries as from Alan. We're going to talk about Mr. Kundi from Talk Sport. I don't know if any of you guys listened to it last night, but he's come out and he said that Newcastle United, Paul, come out and said that Newcastle United are not a big club. And he also said before, we're a big club in Newcastle. And let me tell you something, right? And I'm not going to lie, right? Jason Cundy is an absolute muppet, right? He loves to win Newcastle fans up, right? And I can understand when he says that we haven't won trophies of since 1969. But at the end of the day, right, I think Jason Cundy needs to keep his mouth shut. He hasn't got anything bad to say.
Winning that much, someone shoot me down, but I don't remember. He was a third-rate player at best for me, anyway. But what I saw from him, he's got a big mouth. He's like everyone on TalkSport, big mouths, nothing to back it up, really. You know what I mean? They've got a failed businessman on there who's a bloody gobshite. He's loves to, him and the fifth best Liverpool midfielder of his time when he used to play. Whatever he's called, I've forgotten his name. The fake Scouser.
Oh yeah, Danny Murphy.
Yeah, he was shite as well. He was all right, but special was he? And they were arguing with each other about who because they were both saying nice things about Newcastle, and I was listening to this. And then he went, yeah, but in the break you said, wouldn't it be funny if Newcastle lost? And he went, you said it as well. And they both grasped each other up. Pathetic they are, that they think it's funny that an English team would lose. That really, Newcastle have done nothing wrong to them. In fact, they're like little babies. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get over it. You know what I mean? You've hardly pulled up trees. Anyone that's the best people on their platform, if you want to call it that, their radio station, the likes of Ali McCoist, who actually were good. You know what I mean? Like anyone with half a brain that's on there backs Newcastle. Like McCoist does, and I think there's maybe one or two others, but the rest of them are just trying to make themselves, be valid. You know what I mean? And really and truthfully, nobody wants to listen to him anyway, apart from Muppets. So I wouldn't give Cundy I wouldn't give him the steam off my pee, if I'm being honest.
He's just, like I said before, it's just like he's done this tired bit for like the last couple of years where any team that loses, he does that really boring, has anyone seen blah, blah? And it's like, mate, just give it a rest.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny the first time we did it. It's not funny now, and then it's just like, and then he's like, oh, Newcastle aren't this big club. Good. Who cares? I don't remember ever wanting or saying that Newcastle are a massive club or wanting that. I love that. I love the fact that we're not considered a big club. Who cares?
And how big were Chelsea before Abramovich?
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. But
for God's sake, he played for him, so they couldn't have been any good.
But I love it when they have this thing of like, Newcastle at this big club or whatever. And it's just like, mate, if we aren't, fine. I support Newcastle. That's all I care about. I care about the Geordies that go and sell out all the time. I care about the club that look after the fans. I care about the fans that care. That's what we care about. We don't care for big or small.
Exactly. You don't hear any of us saying let's laugh at how rubbish Chelsea are now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not interested. We're only interested in Newcastle, and maybe he should just concentrate on his own rubbish team. And
it's like these free pracks. You got it's called I don't want to even plug it, but people know the channel without me saying their name. You got Roy Jennings, you got Adam McCullough, and you got other Boovy guy. And it's just like, he's been hot water with Newcastle fans before because he said that every bird in Newcastle was just like fat and drunk, because he's an idiot and he doesn't know anything about anything. And then you got Roy Jennings, who hates Newcastle for no reason, just hates it. Well, he does. Well, he hates them because of a previous encounter with another YouTuber. But, he just has this unwarranted like hatred of us. And they're all talking like, I saw the video and they're like, oh, Newcastle fans have finally been silenced. They're so annoying. It's like, mate, like you as Chelsea fans, like you're the most annoying people. And then the other one's a Man United supporter and a Man City supporter who just don't stop talking about how great they are.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's funny. It's funny seeing people get so riled up by little old Newcastle that have annoyed them. It's so funny seeing, when we become this, like, powerhouse of football. It's just going to come with it. I mean, Man City fans, we talked with Crunk, didn't we? Where Man City just constantly if they win anything at the moment, it's like, well, 100-odd charges, so you can't celebrate winning that, or you've bought the league, or you've got Guardiola, so that's the only reason why you've won things, and it's going to come with us as well. With more success comes more people that just don't want you to be there. And what's funny is we'll laugh and we'll enjoy it. We quite like being hated.
Absolutely. We just love it anyway.
What was it Eddie said? We're not here to be. We're not here to be. What was it the Eddie quote? Was it
we're not here to be popular? We're here to compete.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's exactly right. We don't care if you don't like us. Good.
Exactly. Who cares? If we don't like us, go and cry some more. We don't care. We'll be back on Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow. It's back to the preview. Let's go for Thomas. Big up to Boya Sports. His name is Thomas. He's a young lad and he's a Geertz fan. And he said he was come on my channel before. We're definitely going to get him on very, very soon. And we will get him on very soon. If you'll come on, mate, let me know. And then I will bring you on as well. And Jason Conde is a clickbait I saw. I don't even remember him playing football. That's how good he was. He used to play for Chelsea and Tottenham, by the way. I think he played for Chelsea and Tottenham. No Mourinho for 3 months. Absolutely gutted as well.
So unlucky.
Very unlucky.
Is it 3 months? Is that sort of confirmed?
I'm not sure it's confirmed, but according to Coffee, 3 months he reckons going to be out for. Leslie says he's going to come out for a month. But we wait to hear what Eddie's got to say tomorrow. He's going to be press conference at 10 o'clock. We'll be back at St. Anne's Barnes. Where did you get that from? That's from Leslie. Jason Conde is absolute bellend, can't stand him. Saw the stuff last night. Needs to learn more about his own club, blown 500 million on TikTok footballers, and also his club spend £1 billion and not even got a striker. Simple as that. What can I say?
I'd have signed him on a free as a football manager. Cundy, I'd have sent him back. You know what I mean?
Wow. I'll tell you what, though, Jason Cundy, don't give me a day job.
Chelsea can just sign a Bonlahor back.
Exactly.
Could be a Bongler ball.
Gary.
He's just spouting his ridiculous opinions on TalkSport as well. My God.
He honestly, I think, is the stupidest person I've ever seen on media. In any capacity, at any level, he is so thick. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God!
Listen, send it to TalkSport. I've been buzzing.
Oh my God! Crazy. The Liverpool left back Andy Robinson did his and is out for 3 months. He needed up. Don't know if Murphy does. Be interesting. Unless thinks it's 1 month, not as high as 3. Must have new info. Hi to Alan Talksports, that Liverpool supporter. I would love to have a chat with him. Saying Newcastle should not be in the Champions League. Saying that he has disgraced the Champions League. What an absolute monumental bellend. And I saw that clip yesterday. The guy was absolutely pathetic. I would have cut him off straight away. The moment he said that, I would have cut him off. What's up, Paul? I prefer him being underestimated underdog. The bigger club argument sounds like schoolyard arguments.
Yeah. Chaz, well said, buddy. Well said, mate. I agree with you completely. Yep. It's so weird that whole you're not a big club, and what does that even mean? Who's if you're talking about big clubs, like the big clubs, whatever, there's only 2 clubs really that are big clubs, and it's I hate to say it, but it's Man United and Liverpool with their history. That's it. But who cares?
Exactly. We do our bit, and they do their bit. At the minute, they are clearly rattled. Everton's had the hearing yesterday. No official news yet. It could be up to 12 points deduction as well. Yeah. You only hate it when you're successful and people are worried. Exactly that. Thank you, Gary. So true, Gary. We are hated. We must be doing something right. Yes. Indeed. And also, you've got one of Isla Coffee. The Pratt of the Week, Oliver Holtford's comment on Tonali. Do you know what? He got a lot of stick yesterday.
He loves that.
People. I've replied to him, so he hasn't even got back to us yet. You know what I mean? I don't care. I really don't. He's a real supporter of the takeover. He loves the takeover so much. Yes, he does.
He's such a fan of the Saudi state, Oliver Holt. He's just such what a brilliant journalist he is. Well done, Oliver. We all support you, mate.
Not.
We'll see if there's any sarcasm there.
Exactly. Get this guy in the bin. Get this guy in the bin, man. I mean, I said that yesterday. Yeah, 2-0 to Brighton. Fatty got one of the goals, by the way, by the looks of it. So
Ajax are in trouble, aren't they? Wow.
Oh, Ajax in second bottom in the division.
Yeah.
A massive club as well. To see them where they are now, it's an utter disgrace. They spent a lot of money this season, Ajax, right? And do you know what? If they get relegated, that could be one of the biggest shock in football. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe they'll scalp Ten Hag back.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? You know what it is, right? I mean, it's just so. I actually not be there. I'm not going to be there. Not be there. But Feyenoord, I'll shoot his head in a minute. Like, do you know what I mean? Arnie Slot has been amazing for that club. I'm telling you. So yeah, got one here. Let's face it. Saudis are paying Holt's wages.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true. And Molly said back in school again. And Ajax have a new manager. I don't know who he is. No idea. Who it is. I just say good luck to you. That's all I've got to say. Good luck to you. You only got 4 games. You don't sort yourself out. You'll be out the door now. But there you go.
What's Steve Bruce doing?
Well, the last time I looked, he was linked to Gillingham.
He can go to Ajax. He'll help them out.
Yeah, absolutely. He can go to Ajax. Steve
Yeah.
Bruce to Ajax. Check him out. He's very, very good at escaping relegation. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that guy, when's the last time he had a job for West Brom? He got sacked. Yeah. Steve Bruce for Ajax. I like that, Alan. I like that, man. So, yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap up the show there because we've gone through the match as well. I mean, before I let you go, guys, I should have done the player ratings. Right? We'll go for the player ratings very, very quickly. I'll start with you, Paul. Nick Pope.
Amazing double save. Unbelievable. I don't think he could do much else on the goal. I don't think the goal was anything his fault. Nick Pope was fine. 8 out of 10.
Cool. Man of the match.
Oh, God. Man of the match.
It's your player ratings as well.
That's a tough call. I don't think anyone had a particularly good match, really.
Probably
Nick Pope. Yeah, Nick Pope's probably man of the match for the double save, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I'll give it to Nick Pope. I can't think of anyone else really to give it to.
No stuff. We're out of these player ratings as well. I'll go with you, Ian. Kieran Trippier, one of his worst games, in my opinion, in the black and white shirt. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, I love Trips. He's been absolutely amazing this season. And it was just one of them nights for him. Things didn't happen. Maybe there's a bit of fatigue in there. He's played a lot of games and he isn't a spring chicken, as we know, and he's been playing at such a high level. I'm still going to give him a 6 because I don't think he was awful. He just wasn't at the races. He wasn't up to his best.
Pretty very generous there, but it's your player ratings, my guy. I'm always going to be crying. You give him a 6. Let's go to the other side. Paul, Dan Burn.
Bless him. He's a trier. We love our Dan, but it wasn't a good game yesterday, buddy. It just wasn't 4 out of 10. Sorry, Burn. It just wasn't great, buddy. I think that's maybe even polite to give you 4.
Facts. Let's go to the centre backs as well. I'll give you Fabian Schär, Ian.
6 again, I'd say. I don't think really I could just go through the team and pretty much say the same thing. I don't think there was anybody that I think everybody had a poor game really, apart from Popey. Well, Popey did well.
Okay. You've still got to go for it anyway. Let's go for
I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying.
No. It's fine. It's your player, so I'm not getting too involved. But let's go with Jamal Lascelles, Paul. I mean, look, he did all right. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he did a couple of blocks in then. And at the end of the day, I mean, he's no one-dimensional on the ball. That is what I expect. But with Fulkrug, I think he did really well.
Yeah, Lascelles was probably the best of a bad bunch, really. He had a solid-ish game. Did what but again, it's someone who I'm not expecting to have the best of games because it's been phenomenal his upturn in form. So I can't be over harsh. But again, I'm not going to go mad. But I think a fair 6.5 out of 10. I think is fair. I think that's fair.
Okay, let's go on to Bruno G. Ian.
I actually thought Bruno was okay. He was probably, I would.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
No, because he didn't. There wasn't a lot for him to. There wasn't a lot around him, if you know what I mean. Like so, 6 or 7, I'd say. Like nothing special. 7 probably just.
Okay, and what about Joe Linton? For me, you looked way off the pace. I'm very loving. Looked way off the pace yesterday. I would have had him hooked to half time. I would have hooked him off at half time.
Yeah, I just don't. I think he's still obviously. He's just come back from an injury, and it's very obvious. It's very obvious that he's not right. Right up there. I think I'll agree with you, John. That really, he should have been taken off at half time because he just wasn't. He wasn't really doing his usual. Brilliant things that we know he can do. Again, I'd be stretched to give him anything bigger than a 4. Sorry, Joe. We love you, mate. We do love you, but I think that's the fairest I can be to him because it's probably more closer to a 3 than a 4. Sorry, mate.
Facts. Let's go on to Sean Longstaff. He wasn't very well yesterday. For me, I think Eddie missed a trick. Should have started with Tonali while Sean wasn't very well, but he still played. And I thought the game passed him by, to be fair, Ian.
Yeah, he wasn't well. It's not really his fault.
It's not his fault, but
I understand why we sort of had to play him. I agree. I think Tonali. I thought Tonali was good when he came on. To be honest, I thought he was probably Tonali could have a shout for the man of the match, even though coming on the sub. But yeah, and it's not long his fault. Everyone knows how much I love him, his work rate and everything. But at the end of the day, if you're full of cold, you can't be performing at 100% as an athlete. There's just no way. And his how good he is because of his lung bursting runs, running around, being everywhere, getting stuck in, and he wasn't doing that because he wasn't obviously well. So I don't want to say it, but it's a 3.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's your ratings, by the way, but I understand where you're coming from. So let's go on to Anthony Gordon, Paul. For me, I think he looked really good yesterday. He should have scored, though. He should have scored. But other than that, he's winning free kicks and constantly going past this guy nearly all the time. And you know what? He hit the bar with a deflected strike from inside the box. Been unlucky there, but I think he's one of the bright sparks in the team today, yesterday.
Yeah, tenacious, non-stop, just really, I love his energy. It was decent from Gordon again. And another day that goes in and we get a lucky, a 1-1 or something. So yeah, Gordon is another shout. It's the only name that came into my head when I was thinking of man of the match. I think a fair 7 out of 10, I think is probably fair.
I think so. If he had scored, he would have been an 8, but he has to mark him down for that chance missed as well. He should have scored that. Let's go on to he's a candidate rate. But I'll give you Miggy Amir one anyway, Ian.
Oh, he was rubbish, wasn't he? For me, like he was just. It was one of his poorest performances for a long time. I think for a good while there. I'll go with a 3 as well. My 6s have dropped to 3s. I've just realised. You go back to me. It's scarring me. I was feeling all positive, and then you made us do this. Then I'm going, oh God, 3.
Wow. Harsh. I mean, it's not harsh. It's your ratings, but I can understand why. Why. I mean, let's be real. I mean, you've got one here from I'm still hooked in the fan. Sorry again. I can play some trombones for you if you like. Not on my channel, by the way, but no problem. Or a quick blast and me triangle. And let's have a look at this one as well from Black and White Banter. Jesus, lads, this race is so shocking. You think we'll be beaten 5 now?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, so use your own ratings, mate. That's really up to you, Matthew. But we're just going on. I'm not doing it, but I'm letting the guys do it as well. So I've got mine, but there you go. If you got player ratings, mate, you give us your player ratings 1 to 11, mate, and then we have a look at it, mate. So I hope you're good anyway. Saw you in Milan as well, by the way. Good content. Do check out Black and White Banter, by the way. Matthew, come on your show. Love the guy as well. He's funny. He's a character. And this guy is just brilliant. He really is brilliant for me. But there you go. Who did we missed out? We missed out the subs, haven't we? Sort of Callum Wilson. Poor go you, Callum.
Yeah, again, causing trouble. He'll be frustrated with with not getting the goal. You know, we know how hard he is on himself with that. But I mean, he was fine, wasn't he? He struggles with with like moving the ball as quickly as Isaac. You know, obviously. So it's one of those where he did what was needed, but you know, again, on another day he probably buries that chance. So it's a bit unlucky. So. I'm trying to be fair. 6 out of 10 for Wilson. It's probably about fair.
Yeah. Cool. Who else came as a sub as well? Matt Target, Ian.
I thought Target did all right, actually.
I thought he did well when he came on. He was unlucky not to get that assist free kick.
Yeah, I actually thought he did all right. So I'm going to give him a 7 because I was pleasantly surprised by his performance. So yeah, 7.
Cool, that's fine. And Livermento came on, did he? Didn't get much of a chance, didn't he? So
it's hard to give him a rating.
That's fair enough. And who else came on as well?
We're not going to start, have we?
No, I think one more came on as well.
Tonali came on, didn't he?
So I came on. Yeah, Tonali. Give you Tonali, Paul. I think he did well.
I thought, yeah, that's what, as Ian was saying, he was really, very good when he came on. Again, like the best, probably one of the better players on the pitch when he came on. So again, to be fair to Tonali, I think it was an easy 7 out of 10 performance from him. Especially with coming on with everything going on in the background as well. It would have been easy for him to hide away from, knowing the band's coming and putting in, I wouldn't blame him if he put in like a substandard performance because he's got a lot on his mind. But to be fair to him, he was really good. So one of those things where, maybe in another world we would have started him, but who knows? We're not Eddie Howe, so there might have been a reason that he can't start or whatever. So yeah, but a decent performance from him for definite. We're gonna miss him.
Yeah, cool stuff. And this sounds like the shittest episode of Stars in Your Eyes ever. Phil, very cool. And we're gonna go on to Eddie Howe.
That's a hard one. I don't think he got anything wrong.
I just think we played shit.
I don't think anything was caused by Eddie Howe. Like the substitutions made sense and were helpful.
The injuries are massively hampered us, I think.
That's right.
Nothing he could really do about that. You know what I mean? I'd say it's a bit harsh to go all in on Eddie because, like you said, there's not. What else could he really do? There's nothing that I would have started with the team that he started with. And the substitutes arguably were probably the best players on the pitch. So substitutions weren't wrong. So I'd say I'd give him a 7. What would you give him, Paul?
I think that's fair, isn't it? Because like I said, it's not like substitutions or something, and then we got the 1-0 or something. Then you're like, oh, that's directly linked to a sub or whatever. We improved with the sub, so I think they made it decent times. And like we said, I don't think I can blame Eddie for anything. So yeah, I think 7's more than fair for him.
You could argue it could be an 8 or a 9, to be honest, but it's just with us losing. He didn't do anything to cause us to lose. We didn't play. That's it.
We'll get wrong in a minute.
I hope so. I've already got wrong today.
Well, end of the day, sort of thing. Like look, at the end of the day, it's your player ratings. Yeah, you just call it how you want to see it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I've got mine. But let's look at the fans from both sides. I mean, I mean, fans, he gives them a 4 out of 10. Coffee. Dortmund fans a 10.
Yeah.
And Didgeridoo. There you go. England fans have the travelling ban, I think. At first time we could see the second time we controlled the game. Wasn't talking about you. Wasn't talking about you guys. So that's fair enough, Phil. Let's go on to the fans then. The fans. How many marks out of good the fans? You both there last night. I wasn't there. I'll leave that, guys. I'll leave that to you.
I'll give the drum 10 for being annoying. The fact their fans were really good. They never stopped. You know, I've got me say on the drums. I think they're ridiculous having them in there because it just drowns out everything anyway. But their fans didn't stop, did they? So I would say they deserved a 10. And they were like us when we travelled. You know, they were proper at it. So yeah, our fans, you know. Part of the stadium was a 10. Some parts of the stadium was a 2. You know, so yeah, I wasn't overly impressed. Like I said, John, about the area. Obviously, the area that I was sat in, it was dead. Like, you know, but then there were other pockets. There was singing above us. Level 7 was pretty loud. I always think level 7 does a good job, especially like. You know,
sorry.
What was that?
What was that?
Is it the dungeon alarm going off?
It's Maria. Someone's trying to ring me.
Wow. We haven't got long anyway. Go on here.
Toon fans wasn't the greatest atmosphere, so 6.
Okay. Paul, you was at the stadium yesterday. Marks out 10 for the support as the fans.
Yeah, I agree with Ian. Like, you know, Gallagate, singing section, all that, you know, easy 9 to 10 out of 10 because they're just fantastic. You know, Gallagate, where I was, you know, it's always bouncing there. Yeah. But yeah, so certain parts of it were a bit, I can't describe it. It reminded me just like Crystal Palace that there's still pockets of St James's that, they're still not, you know, it's really quiet and very, you know, it's hard to put a finger on what's going on. I don't know whether there's an expectation coming in and they were thinking we're just going to blow them away. But, you know, we need to get a bit, you know, we've normally been quite good at, if we do go down, we're normally quite good at like having a good atmosphere to get the boys back up for it. And I felt that's another thing that we were a bit lacking on. So, you know, to give it an average, I'd say for St James's Park and all, it's probably like a 7 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go. Thank you very much, John. You make it terrible, which, of course, the spelling is terrible. Love ya. Just love you too, mate. Fans ought to get a 10. Well, wow. But what about the panpipes of the South American themes? And
it would be worse. They could have brought them flipping vuvuzelas or whatever they were called.
Yeah, that's the one. Vuvuzelas.
I've been fired.
Flipping irritating. Bring your drums. I'll be like, just bring the drums back.
Wow.
You got a lot to answer for, Ches. A lot to answer for, mate.
Vuvuzelas. I remember that as well.
It wasn't the song, it was my ringtone.
Hey. For that song, wherever that is. Yep. Sounds like an 80s theme song. Foxy. You got to love Foxy, haven't you? 4 Dortmund fans on the front. He is.
More than likely, yeah.
Yes, about the drums. Make sure you don't forget drums as well. So we covered the player in as well. The referee, we're just going to give him a 0, to be fair. He was shocking. Just going to what you say with a bit of time. Listen on TV, it was a lot quieter than the PSG Palace game. And then Vuvuzelas are terrible. Oh, I hate them. Absolutely hate them. I hate them too. At least you got to go home. Exactly. And talking about going home, we are going to wrap up the show there. We've over an hour and a half. And tell us what you think, guys, in the comment sections down below. Do you think tonight's ban's justified? What do you think your player ratings as well? Leave that in the chat as well. What do you think of the game yesterday? Also leave that in the chat too. And Jason Cundy, what do you think of this comment saying Newcastle are not a big club? I think he's a monumental bellend, but there you go. And I don't want to swear too much because it won't look good on my channel as well. So Ian, where can we find you, man?
Here, usually once a week, and other places sometimes, mostly, just knocking around. Facebook, basically. If you can find us, I'm on there.
Yeah, cool. And Paul, where can we find you, mate, on social media?
Yeah, well, as we said before a few times, we're on the platform of the scumbag, so it's Twitter/X. That was a quote. That was a quote from last time, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Not really. Not obviously. It's tongue in cheek. No, lots of lots of really nice people on Twitter. It's just some weird people on there who are a bit unknowing of what Newcastle are. But no, everyone that follows us from here are just, they're also very lovely and polite. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, please do. It's at Blank Canvas PC. Always a pleasure. Everyone's very kind and polite. And we just need to start getting the word around, getting those numbers up. How are we on the members? Do you know, John?
What's that? What's the MB?
How are we on the members? Do you know what number?
Yeah, 30. I think it's still 37, 38.
All right, we need to get those numbers up.
I know Coulter's going to do one as well, but we've got to send the link as well. So do that. What I'll do next time, I'll do a live show tomorrow for the preview, Wolves preview. I will leave a link on there as well.
Yeah.
And let's look at some more comments before we wrap up the show as well. Fox has made a good comment, by the way. John, are you going to the PSG game? Oh, will be. I'm going to try and get a ticket. Ero spoke about it yesterday about his company. He said it's legit and it's safe for me to do so, right?
Yeah, I don't like. It's not. I don't like these companies, but if you go in and you want a ticket, that's the only way of getting it, isn't it? Simple as that. So, but they are a legit company. It's just I don't like these stupid booking fees and overinflated prices. But the price you said actually was not that bad, was it? So,
I know.
So if I was going to Paris, I'd probably be tempted myself, to be honest. So
cool. Because I've been with VVAT Ticket before, and I've been with 365 Sports events as well, where I went to the Lazio Roma game and they were fine. John, are you going to PSG game? The atmosphere in Paris looks elite versus Milan. I think St. James Park, our atmosphere is only good where we feel we are the underdogs. That's the thing. Well, I don't want our club to be. It's like Man City at home at the Etihad.
It'll never be like that, but I think it's just because we're so used to having great atmospheres. When the atmosphere is slightly, it's more impactful because you just think, what's going on? Because we do generally have a brilliant atmosphere in St. James Park. So it is what it is. Onwards and upwards. I'm sure that the Arsenal game will be a different kettle of fish. So.
100%. Thanks for the cracking show. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that. My triangle's just so rubbish now. That's from Phil. Loved all of you chatters as always. Love you too, Les.
Tell you what we should do for Dortmund. We should get Ches to send us over a container load of vuvuzelas and take them down and say, stick your drums up your arse. You think you're annoying? Get a load of these.
Absolutely, totally agree. But vuvuzelas, not for me. Sorry. Be careful going to Paris, especially after what happened in Belgium. You know what? That's need to be. You're absolutely right. I will be careful as well. I guarantee you that as well. Les going to say that. That's a French fancy. Okay. And Les has warned him. Yes, he did. And that's it, guys. Thanks for coming on. And I figured end the show. Me this first and again. And Foxy the emojis too slow, so in my life. And if you like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to log off straight away, guys, because it's frozen. And you on tomorrow, Ian?
Say it again, sorry.
Are you on tomorrow, or you got your wifey to look after?
I'll not be on tomorrow. Sorry, mate. I'll be busy because I've got Tommy and my missus and that. So I'll not be on tomorrow, but I'll be back on next week at some point. We'll sort it out. Thursdays is usually good for me.
Darry Dorsey that'll be fine. We'll do the same next Thursday for the preview. I think it's an Arsenal preview game as well. And Paul will be on tomorrow for the preview, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good, mate. Sounds good.
Great stuff. I think it'll be 8 o'clock as well again. So if there's any change at the time, I shall let you know. And so, guys, thanks for coming on tonight. And if you like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe. And as always, I'm with the Mags, and I shall see you guys tomorrow.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. See you later.
See you later.